Hey, good morning, everybody. Today, just like we've agreed, we're going to be looking at R basics using the R Lady Sydney tutorials online. As you can see on the screen here, we're going to be looking at the first chapter. So this is basically for those who are new to R within our group, that's R Ladies Abuja. So I'm going to take you through the chapters, the basics chapters for today. So we want to look at everything that we've read over the past 2 weeks, and we'll be able to now record it and share with others as well. So for the first chapter here, that's Basic Basics 1. So we're going to be looking at the tour of R Studio. I believe by now we should have done the first one, installing R and R Studio. So, but if you've not installed, you have to go through this so that we can save enough time to go through the exercises that we're having. So now we want to assume that we've all installed R Studio. So I'm going to share my screen as well, show you my R Studio interface. So if you've installed your R Studio completely successfully, you should have a screen like this with you on your computer. So here were the windows that are opened here are the console, the files, then the environment. So we're going to go through it one by one by going through the tutorial. We're not going to get outside the tutorial. So I'll go back to the tutorial now. So for the next thing after installing the R Studio and R Studio, the next thing will be that we want to look at the overall layout of the default R Studio interface, how to create a project and organize your files, how to create a script, and the 4 main quadrants of the R Studio interface and what you can expect to do in each of the quadrants. So we're expected to watch a video that is available on the website. So with what we've watched, we're going to go through the 4 quadrants, explain what each one of them does, and then we can now move to the next aspect. Okay, right now I'm going to go ahead and explain the 4 quadrants that we're having on the screen. So the first quadrant that we're having here is the source quadrant, where you have your script, where you can type in your script. Maybe you want to say 2 plus 1. You can do that here, and control enter. When you press control enter, you'll see the outcome will be displayed in the second quadrant, which is the console. So this is the console. So don't worry about the warnings here. They're setting different settings on my laptop. So this is where everything you have in your script will be displayed, how it's run. It's going to be shown in the console quadrant. So now the third one is where we have the files, the file quadrant, where you can get your plots, the packages, the help, and the viewer screen. So here you can view all the files that you have for your project or you're working on actually. So the fourth is the environment. This is where you have all your global settings, the environment. As you work with projects, you get to see all the artifacts, maybe the data, your vectors, your data frame, everything will be displayed within the environment here that you have access to. So moving on, you can also change how all these 4 quadrants are displayed here. You can change them by going to the tools, you go to global options, then you can come to the appearance here. Let's start with the appearance, or you start with the global settings, but most of these I don't want to bug you with it, so we'll just go to like maybe the appearance. Like I have a black background. You can decide to change all these themes. There are different themes that you can change here. You can go for the classic, you can go for modern, sky, whichever one you opt for. Then the font you can change, you can increase your font size, the zoom percentage here. Then you can also now look at the editor theme. The theme here are so many, but you can decide to take any one you want. If I change it now, you can see that the effects on each of the options that I'm selecting now. So it depends on you. Do you want it cold? Do you want it bright? Now it's now left for you to make a choice there. But I would like to leave it the way I'm using it. So then the pane that we're talking about. So here we have the 4 quadrants now. These are the 4 quadrants that you're seeing on my screen. If you want to change how they are displayed, maybe you want your console up here or you want your files down here, whichever one, you can always change that. So if I choose to put my console here, you can see now the console is now up, the source is down. So if I decide that, okay, under the console, I want the files quadrant to be there, you can see they are changed immediately. So it's now left for you to apply the settings that you want and then move on to using the RStudio interface. That's the IDE. So, but I'm going to cancel this. So this is where you can get that. So the next thing that we're supposed to do now is to create a project. So if you want to create a project, projects are created in order for you to organize your files. When you're working on a project, maybe you have an assignment or anything, it's best for you to use a project. Create a project where you can keep all your files, your data files, everything, your scripts, they are all located in one folder. And you can create multiple folders as well. So we'll go ahead. There are different ways that you can do this. If you look on the right side here, you can see my cursor is on this tab that says project. There's no project now that is being opened. So if you want to create a new project, you can click on this, then you say new project, or you open a project, or you open another project in a new session of RStudio IDE. So now we're going to create a new project. So here we have the options of using a new directory or an existing directory, or maybe you want to connect it with GitHub. You can go through this. That means you're already having a GitHub account that you've created online. Then you've created a project, maybe a repository on GitHub. So this is what you want to link to your project here. So any update you have here, you can always push back or pull down to your RStudio. So, but right now we want to just create a new directory. So you say a new project. So we'll give it a name. Intro, maybe let's say Intro2R. So I already have a directory where I usually keep my files, but you can decide to change by clicking on the browse. Then you go through, you can go to your documents and whatever you want to use there, so you can make your choice, but I want to stick with what I have here. So you have options of creating a Git repository, but that means you already have a Git account, so you don't need to tamper with this. So let's just go ahead and create a new project. So now we have our new project that has been created for us. You can see here, this is an R project. This is all automatically created for you, so that all your files and everything will be linked to this file. So you don't have to know so much about it, but this helps you to kind of build and run your apps and your scripts, everything, our project correctly. So right now we can also have different subfolders. So if you want to add maybe a folder for your script, you can click on this new folder, then you say scripts. Okay. So we'll add that to it. So now you have the script. So here we can create, maybe we'll save some of our scripts that we might create now. Or you can add another folder that will be for your data file. So you click OK here. So now we have two folders there. So we can go ahead and add the different scripts by creating our source now. So you can go to, okay, here, if you go to file, You have the options of creating a new script and a new project as well. That's the second way of creating your new project. So, but right now we've created a project. We want to create an R script. So there are different scripts that you can create going through the new file. So there are different options, but here we are looking at the R script. Another way you can do this, there is a shortcut here. If you see this white square box with a plus sign on it, if you click on the arrow beside it, it gives you all the same options that all the files that you can create. So here I will just select the script, the R script. So here we can decide to do whatever we want to have there, maybe 23 plus 4, 34, whatever. So we can run this and now we can save. So with this, we can click on saving this file to our folder. So I can click on save document, this document now. So I will select, you can see it's now going to the directory for the project that I've created. So I can now choose the folder that I want to save it in. So let's say first script. So here I'll click save. So now you can see the name has changed from Untitled to First Script now. So anytime I need this, I can always go back to the file and then I will be able to see it. So if I click on the script here, so let me go back. So here, if I click on the script name, it opens the folder and I'll be able to see this and I'll be able to bring it up again for us. So that's basically how to create your project and create a new file within RStudio. So the next thing that we're looking at is BasicBasics 2, installing and loading packages. So here we're going to be looking at how to load packages. Packages are kind of functions, or they contain functionalities that helps you with your work while in RStudio. So these are packages that are created by so many users, so that can help us with our basic work. So we're going to be looking at how to install this and use them. So we look at they've given a definition here towards a package, given a beautiful definition here. A package is a bundle of code that a generous person has written, tested, and then given away. Most of the time, packages are designed to solve a specific problem. So they pull together functions related to a particular data science problem, e.g., data wrangling, visualization, inference, modeling. There's so many that can be created. So it depends on which package you want to use. And all these packages are available on CRAN, the website. So from there, but you can also have access to it through the RStudio. So how do we now install? Let's go back to the RStudio interface. So now I'm back in RStudio interface now. So there are different ways that you can install the packages. Let's take, for example, Tidyverse package. The Tidyverse package is used to help us to maybe modify. We have a data that maybe is dirty, is not something that we want to work with there. We're having multiple information on different rows and all. You cannot differentiate what is being displayed on rows and then columns. All these are messed up. The Tidyverse package helps us to do that, and also to visualize the data after cleaning, and so many lots of functionalities that are available in it. So there are different ways that you can do this. The first option is for us to go to the file quadrant. There you will see packages. Sorry. Okay, we'll go to the packages tab. If you click on that, it's going to open up the different packages that have already been installed on my system. But if you now want to go install any package, you can click on this install. Then it's going to tell you that it's installing from the repository, the CRAN repository. So the only thing you just need to do here is to put in the name of the package that you want to install. So I'm looking at Tidyverse now. You can see it's already bringing it up for me. So the options here is this: separate multiple with space or comma. So if I have multiple packages that I want to install at the same time, so I can just put a space and write the name of the next package, or I use a comma. So for now, let's say I already have it installed, but I would go ahead and install the Tidyverse package again. So you can see from the console here, it's installing. It's already downloading those files from CRAN. So while that is downloading, it's successfully downloaded now and it's installed. That's fast. So another way we can do this is to type a line of code that's okay. So is this, you can say install dot packages. So here you have to put the name of the package that you want to download into a quotation and double quotation mark, and then you type the name, you put it in quote. So that will be Tidyverse. Then you just click Control Enter and it will install just the same way as it just did now. So that's how you can install packages in RStudio. Okay, now the next thing after installing the packages, the next thing we're going to do is to use the packages. So I want to use the Tidyverse package now. Let me clean the first script that I've tried to put in some stuff here. So now if you want to use the package that you've loaded, you have to type library. So it's going to be Tidyverse. So the Tidyverse, we're going to use the Tidyverse package. When you type in this, then we'll click Control Enter, or you select the line and just type run. And just click on the run button here. So you can see I've run it, so it's already loaded the package for me, so I can use almost all the functionalities that are available in the Tidyverse.